Round 1.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I last made a guide video and I'm long overdue one. We are going back to the box art for this one, and in this video I'm going to be covering the samurai vanguard hero, Kensei. In Season 5, For Honor had a massive overhaul of many of its combat elements to improve the game significantly. One of these changes came in the form of hero reworks, and leading the charge in this regard was Kensei, whom before the rework wasn't considered to be a strong hero, but now stands as the benchmark for which all other reworks are measured. Kensei is widely considered one of the most balanced heroes in For Honor amongst the community, and stands today as a hero that caters to both beginners and veteran players alike. This guide will assume you know the basics of For Honor combat, and you're also familiar with the terminology, such as guard breaks, parrying, chains, feints, etc., and is aimed at new and existing players to help learn a new character. Kensei is a hero with every 3-hit chain in the book. You can perform any 3-hit chain in any direction, using either lights or heavies in any order. This gives Kensei a strong degree of flexibility in how to mix up your opponents. You should always strive to mix up your opponents, and the chains help with this, but the chain's main purpose is to help the Kensei with soft feint mix-ups. Each attack has its role, and once you understand the Kensei's potential, you'll be able to find a use for each one. The damage values of Kensei's attacks differ depending on stance and which attack in the chain it is. Side light attacks hit for 12 damage on the first hit, second light in a chain hits for 16 damage, and the chain finisher lights hits for 20 damage. Top light attacks always hit for 20 damage regardless of which hit in the chain they are. For side heavy attacks, chain openers do 40 damage, second heavy in the chain does 25 damage, and chain finishers hit for 35 damage. For top heavies, the first 2 hits will do 40 damage, whilst the unblockable top heavy finisher hits for 45 damage. When out of lock and sprinting towards your opponent, press the heavy attack button to perform rushing sweep. This attack does 20 damage, but cannot execute on a kill and cannot start chains. Dodge forward and press light attack for a 17 damage helm splitter. Dodge forward pressing heavy attack gives you Nature's Wrath, a 20 damage attack that can execute opponents. And dodging to the side and pressing heavy attack performs Swift Strike, another 20 damage attack that can execute. This attack will hit from the opposite direction that you dodged. For example, if you dodge to the left when inputting Swift Strike, your attack will come from the right and vice versa. These dodge attacks all count as chain starters and count as the second hit in a chain. Use these to pressure your opponents with your unblockable soft feint options. As a side note, these dodge attacks cannot be feinted, so can be baited for an easy parry. Kensei can dodge forward into guard break. This improves the guard break range and serves as a pommel strike mix-up. Kensei has superior block during dodges, so can deflect attacks. The grasping pounce is guaranteed when deflecting a top attack. Kensei has multiple soft feint options from top heavies. The top heavy opener has the unique pommel strike that replaces the guard break soft feint found later in chains. However, this can still be replicated via the grasping pounce. By pressing guard break during a top heavy opener, Kensei will strike the opponent with the pommel of the Nodachi. This guarantees a light attack from any direction. You want to go to the top for 20 damage, but if the pommel strike is dodged, attacking from the side may save you from a nasty light parry. The second and third top heavies have the same soft feint options, bar the pommel strike. To perform these soft feints, you do not need to hard feint first. Simply press the desired attack button during the top heavy startup. You can press guard break to guard break your opponent. Inputting a side light will do just that, and you can input a side heavy or even a dodge or dodge attack. Remember that feinting into some attacks, like Nature's Wrath or Swift Strike, also count as chain starters and can serve to loop your chains. These top heavy soft feints are what makes Kensei such a versatile hero, and mastering them is paramount to getting the most out of this character. Kensei's guard breaks are followed up by the second hit in a chain. The throw itself counts as the second hit in a chain, and thus leads into chain finishers. Kensei's throws also cause a stun effect, temporarily blinding your opponents. Kensei's top heavy finishers have the unblockable property. The side light and side heavy finishers have uninterruptible stance or hyper armor. This is represented by a white flash and can be used to trade with opponents. Kensei's zone attack hits your opponent's right guard and has 2 hits, both of which do 20 damage each, and the zone attack can be feinted. This is probably the best zone attack in the game for clearing minions, and has an absurd range that sees Kensei lunge forward almost instantly. The zone hits 360 degrees around Kensei, so has a very large hitbox, and serves as a useful defensive tool when outnumbered. On to Kensei's punishers. On guard break, you get a side heavy for 25 damage. Top heavy is too slow and can not only be blocked but parried as well. On a wall splat, you input a top heavy. This counts as the 3rd hit in the chain, so it will be unblockable, hitting for 45 damage. When parrying a heavy attack, you can get a light attack, once again the top light for 20 damage, or you can hit with the first part of your zone attack for 20 damage. A light parry will net you a side heavy for 40 damage. Top heavy is too slow and can be blocked. When throwing an out of stamina opponent, you can throw forward and input dash forward light into top heavy unblockable for 62 damage. This is unsafe and you can be guard broken on wake up. Alternatively, you can do a delayed light attack from the stance your guard is already in into a top heavy. If your light attack came from the top, this will total 60 damage, and if your light hit from the side, it will be 52 damage. Parrying an out of stamina opponent is more or less the same. Top light into top heavy for 60 damage, or dash forward top light into top heavy unblockable for 62 damage, once again the latter being unsafe. Landing either a guard break or a light parry when you are out of stamina grants you a top light for 20 damage. Since the revenge changes in 1v1 fights, the training mode no longer allows me to test revenge activation punishers, so take this with a grain of salt as I'm actually unsure. My recommendation is simply 2 top light attacks for a total of 52 damage, or a top heavy for the same. Kensei has really good feats, so this will come down to preference. Body count is a strong pick if you like keeping the minion zone under your control, as Kensei clears minions better than most. Fast recovery combines nicely with fresh focus to give Kensei very little time spent out of stamina, so is incredibly potent. All of Kensei's tier 2 feats are good. Smoke Bomb is arguably very strong, as is Inspire versus the Ram when defending in Breach, and Chilling Stare helps escalate Kensei's high damage. For tier 3, I'd always go Second Wind, and I've never really considered using the others. Tier 4 is personal preference. Arrow Storm has potential if it's used correctly, and Unblockable makes Kensei very scary to defend against for a short amount of time. My personal preference, however, is Stalwart Banner, and it is a must if defending in Breach. Perks for Kensei is again up to preference, but I would always recommend Fresh Focus, as its utility is unmatched. Devourer is a nice option, as Kensei doesn't really struggle to get an execution, and I personally like Shields Up for that extra bulk when spawning in. So, is Kensei as balanced as everyone thinks? In my opinion, for the most part, yes. Kensei has a terrific moveset and none of it feels overbearing to use or fight against. However, easy access to multiple 20 damage light attacks to me seems too high. This is only my opinion, however, and I'm not an expert at game balancing. Overall, Kensei is a solid choice for veterans and newcomers alike. A versatile kit rewards creative play, and Kensei has access to very strong feats and perks. Thank you all so much for watching the video. I hope you found it helpful, and if I've missed anything, please leave it in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. If you do, give the bell icon a click to receive notifications of new content. Thanks again, and see you in the next video. Ciao for now!